Hi! Welcome back to our segment, Dancing Fingers, Leaves, Stones, and Stars, writing poems about the wilds. So I'd like to share with you a poem that is actually in Dancing Fingers, and you can find it in our book. And it is actually a poem that I wrote following some floods in my state, Washington, that were quite catastrophic, and that was actually 2 years ago. The river runs with vengeance and swallows up the homes. Termites gnaw, but water tears to the music of our moans. So this is actually the first stanza, and you can find the rest of it in Dancing Fingers, so I hope that that's kind of suspenseful, but you want to find out what happens. So as you can see, nature poems aren't limited to fluttering butterflies or peaceful ponds. We can do tsunamis too if we want to. Nature gives us breathtaking images, such as floods and avalanches. The verse I just read is from a poem I wrote after a huge part of Washington flooded. And so if you don't know what to write about, look for nature for inspiration. Nature offers a little something for everyone, like excitement and action. Well, then you can write a poem about a pounding monsoon or a blizzard you saw on TV. Like more delicate, dainty stuff, you could write a poem about a daisy's petals or the dew on the grass of your lawn. So there's really something in nature for every taste, but we don't have to merely describe natural images. We can also use them to express deeper memories. Remember when I was talking about using an animal as a metaphor? Other nature images work the same way. You can use nature as a metaphor to talk about something completely different. And a metaphor, remember, I'm hoping you remember, is something that is used to represent something or someone else. So for instance, I could have this beautiful scene of palm trees and a sunset and a receding beach, and I could use that as a metaphor for goodbyes. And you can come up with maybe some metaphors that nobody else will understand. Or we could use something a little more obvious. For instance, we could use an avalanche as a symbol of war, overwhelming feelings, or simply the interruption of daily life, which an avalanche is. Using nature as a metaphor for something else is helpful because it makes a poem more interesting, and it gets your poem, or your point, across more powerfully in a poem. So here are some activities for nature metaphors. You can remember a feeling you've experienced. For example, happiness, sadness, or irritation. I've experienced that one quite a bit, and happiness and sadness too. 2, write down 2 words to describe your feeling. For instance, light and warm for happiness, heavy and cold for sadness, itchy and annoying for irritation. I've known itchy and annoying irritants too. And 3, think of something from nature that could be described by the words you came up with in 2. So for instance, what's light and warm? Well, sunshine, so you could use sunshine as a metaphor for happiness. What is heavy and cold? Maybe a stone. And what is itchy and annoying? I think I might have one actually. A mosquito bite. I think that would describe itchy and annoying. And then 4, write a poem about your feeling. Instead of stating, I felt sad, you could write about a heavy stone, or for example, I was a heavy stone sinking to the bottom of the sea floor. Blue sea floor, if you wanted to get it really depressing. For example, in my poem on the sea is a metaphor for life. So you can actually find many examples of nature metaphors, and here are some nature metaphor ideas for poetry. A sunset could be a goodbye, an avalanche could be overwhelming feelings. Some others would be a mountain, could be an obstacle, something that's blocking you from getting where you want to be. A hurricane could be anger. A cave could be your mind, and the sea could be life. So those are just a few nature metaphor ideas. And you can use nature metaphors to get your readers thinking about any manner of ideas, but you can also use nature poems to get your readers thinking about what else? Nature. You might want to consider writing a poem about a polar bear on a shrinking ice floe, or the beauty of dawn in one of the world's last truly wild places. When you write poems about nature, you get your readers to think about nature at a crucial time when our environment is being threatened. So here are some more activities. You could write a poem inspired by the Weather Channel using action words, and you'll find a lot of those. I would advise watching storm stories and Hurricane Week if you're looking for a big action words. You look around for the tiniest natural detail you can find and write a poem about it. So whether it's a tiny leaf or maybe even a little bug, then that would be an interesting subject for a poem. Think of a nature metaphor for something that is troubling you and write a poem about the metaphor. Or write a poem about pollution impacting the habitat or life of a specific animal. And some of these you might want to do a little research on, others you can just start writing. Well, thank you so much for watching Leaves, Stones, and Stars, or is it Leaves, Stars, and Stones? Well, whatever it is, I hope that you have a fun time writing about nature in your poem.